edition, the weekend edition of the Daily Market Commentary. Hope everybody had an absolute great trading week, great trading day on Friday, and all is treating you well as we are heading into a brand new week. Those of you new to the channel, do me a favor, click that little subscribe button down below. For those of you that have been coming here regularly, you know that we look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, identifying potential breakout trades and turning points. And then also keeping our lines on the charts so that we can be held accountable to trades as they happen. So let's go ahead and do what we do every week and dive right in. I know earlier last week I'd mentioned that I was going to have a cool announcement coming out today. It turns out that the technology is not quite there and not quite ready. I know a number of you have been asking specifically about options trades and finding a way for me to get options trades out there more frequently, more regularly. So I've been working on a way to get that to you. So I'll let you guys know whenever that comes up. I had a little snafu in the technology side of things, but we're almost there, closing in. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to getting that rolling. But let's go ahead and get started. So in the ES, looking at the S&P, specifically the S&P. Now, we had our breakout above our 2,800 line, and I will say that it failed a couple of times. It fell back through, did not get below the last pivot low, and now we are up sitting at 2809. Now, if you were willing to hold it over the weekend, that's kind of where you are. Many of you probably didn't hold it over the weekend and probably still maybe closed out for a little bit of a profit. As it stands right now, we could have another entry on a pullback into this region right here, which would have been the close of Friday. We did sell off a little bit on Friday, but not a ton. So this became our little bit of a breakout area for that market. As far as what I'm looking for later in the week, I got to go to a much bigger time period now. And on a 4-hour chart, I think that there's room to get up to this region here. 2830. I think we could see 2830. We've got another, call it 48 points before we get back to our. I'm sorry, we got another 70 points before we get back to our highs of the year. I put a little poll up on Twitter, who thought we would get to a new high this year, and so far the yeses are winning, but there's a fair amount of no's in there as well. And that's what makes a market go round. So far, as of when I'm recording, we've got 19 votes in the hopper, and I got 79% yes and 21% no. So interesting. I thought it would be fun to kind of put it out there, and that's what makes trading happen, right? Is the variance of opinions. So if you're looking at this today, where might be an entrance to get back in? Well, you could get a little entrance here on the 15-minute chart, and I'm going to put this in purple for a potential reversal position. Remember, 15-minute charts are always going to be lower probability than our 60-minute charts. So while it's in here, remember the probabilities are a bit lower. How come I'm not using this? Well, because we stayed in it a while, even on the hourly chart. I didn't really like the move away from it, and so I came down into this region here, which old resistance becomes new support oftentimes. So keep that area in mind. Looking at the NQ, the NASDAQ, I'm going to put a little level right here. We have put in a new all-time high in the NASDAQ, which is swimming, and everybody's very happy about that and super excited. And that's all fine and dandy, but we still have to keep an eye on some potential areas for possible reversals. Now, remember our rules with all-time highs. I don't pull on Superman's cape, I don't spit in the wind, and I don't short all-time highs. So if I'm going to look to short any markets, it would be the S&P, not the NASDAQ. Crude oil. So in the crude oil market, I had put a potential opportunity for a candle-to-candle trade on the 4-hour, and we got a nice little move on it right away, which then would force you to take your stop and move it to here. The next candle, you move it to right here, and then you're stopped out of it shortly thereafter for a little bit of a move. There wasn't a whole lot of I guess, what's the word I want to use? Follow through on this movement, and so a little bit of a profit. I'd rather get stopped out for a small profit than I would lose money, obviously. And I mean, I say small profit, it was 20 ticks, 20 ticks or so before your stop out should have occurred on your short entry. So that crude oil 4-hour level, I was really hoping to get it down to 69. In that range at the very least. Didn't quite make it there. And so you're feeling terrible if you gave back a lot of the profits that you had. but it still closed out as a winning trade if you followed the rules. Remember, that was on a 4-hour chart. Looking at it on a 1-hour chart, what might be some of the things that we can look at going forward? Well, we've opened up today, kind of where we closed. So not a whole lot of change in the overnight over the weekend. Not a whole lot has happened. If you're so inclined, I think you may have an opportunity right here at the origins of this big move up when price does get down to there. But there's some short until you get to that region as well. In gold, look at this. This is called missing by a tick. I mean, just barely missed the entry on this gold position. Entry still valid, but I am going to change my entry style to a confirmation at this point because we came really close and didn't quite get filled. So entry is still valid. I'm actually going to tighten the level up even a little bit at this point. I always want to tighten it up whenever I get close and don't get the fill. If you're so inclined, I'd be okay if you decided to take a breakout below 1240. I think there's still room for it to move. In the world of bonds, Aussie, Euro, and Canadian. So we have our breakout to the upside in the bonds. Remember, these triangle patterns can break out one way or the other. Doesn't matter which one it does. It just can go one way or the other. So this one's continuing its move higher. I don't have anything I want to add to this at the moment. I'm going to remove these lines because those are said and done, and hopefully you've made your profit on that as it's running. We're a little overextended even on an upward trend line basis, right? As you can see recently, we've come a little overextended. So if you're a very short-term day trader, you're going to have a lot of opportunities in here. If you're a little bit more like me and you're trying to stay at hourly charts or above, you're really going to have a hard time trading this market. In the 15-minute level, there's going to be an opportunity right here if you're willing to go that small of a zone. That gives you a tight little zone. Next, in the Aussie. So in the Aussie, we still have our area, which has been here for 2 weeks. There's no reason to take it off at this point. Same thing in the Canadian. Still have our level, which has been there for quite a while. In the Euro, I want to take a look at this area here in the Euro. Now, the Euro, we've got a potential reversal point just above us, right through here. So keep an eye on this area for a potential reversal in the euro. If you wanted to go long until we get there, I think there may be a good shot somewhere right in there to get back in. Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. So in our Great British Pound trade, we had a really nice level set up, and then the trading gods came in and smacked us around. And you're going to have that happen from time to time. That's why we have our stop losses. Repeat after me. I love my stops. I love my stops. I love my stops. Nat Gas, we had a breakout below this blue line, so our breakout did indeed occur. Now's the time to take your stop and probably move it to above here to lock in a bit of profit on that particular level. Copper, we've not made it back to our potential reversal point yet. And then looking at the Japanese yen, remember, I don't know if anybody remembers from last week, we had an entry right here and rode it down very far. I took those levels off the chart, but we could get another opportunity to get in right here for another short to kind of continue this trend. So there's our major markets that we're looking at for this weekend. If we have no major changes, then I won't have a new video out tomorrow morning. I'm actually in New York City for the next couple of days, so I'm going to be a little bit earlier when I get the video out. If I do get it out tomorrow morning, so just kind of keep an eye on that. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and until next week, until tomorrow, I'll see you soon. Later.